Hello, dear students of class 9. Today I am here with the last chapter for term 2, and it is titled The Beggar by Anton Chekov. In this story, we have the theme of change, dishonesty, alcoholism, kindness, compassion, desperation, struggle, selflessness, and gratitude. Our author Anton Chekov was a Russian playwright and short story writer who is considered to be among the greatest writers of short fiction in history. Chekov may have suffered an untimely death, but he squeezed the most out of his 44 years of life. He was considered a gem in the genre of short stories. This is a moral tale in which the arrogant and self-righteous lawyer thinks he has saved the beggar by teaching him how to work for a living. Let us watch the video to find out as to exactly what happens and how the beggar is taught to be independent and self-sufficient on his own. So children, this is how the story goes. Once a beggar called Lashkov was begging for alms, and he was seen saying that he had not eaten anything for the past 3 days. He said that he did not even have kopecks to pay for a room to spend the night at. He swore by God that he spoke the truth and that he was a school teacher who had lost his job of 8 years due to the conspiracy of his colleagues, because of which he now was jobless for the last 1 year. An advocate named Sergei looked at the brown-colored overcoat of Lashkov and he felt like he had seen this man somewhere before. Lashkov continued that he had got an offer of a job in the state of Kaluga in Russia, and although he felt embarrassed, he wanted help in the form of money so that he could travel there. Sergei then looked at Lashkov's shoes and saw that both had different heel sizes, and then he remembered something. So Sergei said that the day before, when he met him, Lashkov had told him that he was a student who had been expelled and not a school teacher. He asked if he remembered it. Lashkov was shocked and denied having said so, and spoke softly by stating that he was a school teacher and could show his documents as proof. Sergei was so angry and said that he had lied enough. He added that Lashkov had told him that he was a student and had also given the reason for getting expelled from school. He was so angry at him that he turned away from him. He screamed that Lashkov was dishonest and that he would hand him over to the police. This made Lashkov scared, and so he confessed that he was lying about being a student or a teacher. Instead, he had been a singer in a Russian choir group and had been removed because of his drinking issues. He even said he lied because otherwise no one would have given him alms. He even said that there was nothing he could do other than lie and beg. This angered Sergei, who screamed again and said that he could work instead of lying. Lashkov agreed, but added that there was no work for him. Sergei asked if he would chop wood for him. Lashkov wanted to chop wood, but said that even skilled woodcutters were jobless at the moment, so who would hire him then? To which Sergei offered him the job and he agreed. Sergei said that his willingness to work would be judged soon. He walked off, rubbing his hands, and called Olga, the cook, from the kitchen. He then asked Olga to take the man to the woodshed and allow him to chop wood. Lashkov followed Olga unwillingly. In fact, he had never meant to chop wood, but had been trapped by his own words. Sergei hurried into the dining room. From there he watched the cook leading the beggar to the woodshed. She opened the door of the woodshed and flung an axe down at his feet. He lifted the axe and hit a piece of wood irresolutely. It was a feeble effort. Sergei was sorry to have set that menial work to the drunkard beggar who was not fit for this work. He came back to his study. After an hour, Olga came in. She told Sergei that Lushkov had chopped the wood. Sergei was pleased. He gave her half a ruble for Lushkov. He said that if Lushkov desired, he could come to chop wood on the 1st of every month. Lushkov came to chop wood regularly on the 1st of every month. He was always given work and he earned a little money every time. When Sergei moved into another house, he asked Lushkov to help in packing and hauling the furniture. He hardly did anything. He walked behind the wagons hanging his head. But Sergei believed that he had done his job well. He gave Lushkov a ruble. Lushkov knew how to read and write. So Sergei gave him a letter and asked Lushkov to go to a friend of his who would give him some copying work to do. Lushkov went away and he never came back again. 10 years later, Sergei saw Lushkov at the ticket window of a theater. He was well dressed and was buying a ticket. He told Sergei that he was a notary and got 35 rubles a month. Sergei was delighted because he had been able to push a deprived beggar on the right path. Lushkov thanked him for his kindness because he had pulled him out of a sinking pit. But he said that the true credit for changing him went to Olga. Naturally, this surprised Sergei. Lushkov explained that he had never chopped a single piece of wood. Olga chopped the wood for him and gave him the money. She would chide him. She would tell him that he would go to hell. There was no hope for him. She wept for him. She suffered for him. Her words, her sacrifice and her suffering for him had an inexplicable influence on him. He began to change. He stopped drinking and he was grateful to her. He could never forget her. And with this, we come to the end of the story. But children, we should always remember that every story gives us a message, alright? So here, we should keep in mind that no matter how educated, talented, rich or cool you believe you are, how you treat people ultimately tells all. Integrity is everything. There is no greater intelligence than kindness and empathy. So as we traverse through unpredictable times, remember the inevitability of kindness is almost always good. Having said that, stay happy and stay safe at home. Bye and take care.